Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about 5 ways to make her instantly regret losing you. Okay, so if you have an ex who recently dumped you, or a woman that maybe lost interest in you, what are some ways that you can make her regret losing you and maybe second guess her decision to leave you or to dump you or to just back away and lose interest? What are some of the things that you can do? So the first thing that you want to do is you want to do what she least expects. Okay, so the thing that she is expecting you to do after you get dumped is to chase her, is to try and reconcile things, to try and make things work, to try and basically fight for the relationship or this connection that you may have had. We don't really expect someone to just be like, okay, right, have a nice life, or say something like, well, if you don't love me, then that's the reality. But the reality is as well is that I want to be with someone who does love me. So if you don't want to be with me, that's fine, because I deserve to be with someone that loves me. So goodbye, and good luck with your life. And if you say something just simple like that, and you go directly into no contact, and you walk away, and you never speak to them again, and you go ghost, basically, that's going to really confuse that person. That's going to really confuse her if you do that, okay? And it could as well make her regret losing you, right? Because she's maybe going to second guess, like, okay, so he really or she really just took that on they didn't fight at all. She'll be so confused, and she'll think, well, maybe I did the wrong thing, maybe I made the wrong decision to do that, maybe I shouldn't have been so harsh, because perhaps I thought they were a certain way, I thought they were going to fight for me, I thought they were, what's going on there? Because what it does when you walk away like that so strongly and you accept it so gracefully, it makes you appear more attractive. And the reason why it makes you appear more attractive is because you had a calm, level head about it. You didn't get emotional. You were very stoic about it, and you accepted it. And that is a very attractive quality when someone has such self-respect that when they get dumped, they accept it. Because they know that they deserve to be with someone that loves them. And if they're being dumped, then clearly that person doesn't love them. And someone who has high respect for themselves only is around people that wants them and values them, right? So if you find yourself in a place where you're no longer wanted or valued, like when you've just got dumped, you need to start going and seeking other places where you will be accepted, right? And loved and cherished for who you are. Okay, and that's someone who has high self-respect will do that. They will accept the breakup, and they won't beg, they won't plead, they won't try and do anything to change her mind. And that's what's going to confuse her. That's one of the things that is really going to make her regret losing you if you do something like that. So the second thing that will make her instantly regret losing you is if you genuinely heal and move on. So obviously it depends on how long you were together. So let's say you're only dating for like a few months, then give yourself about 6 months to get over it before you start dating again. But if it was a long-term thing, let's say you're together for about a year or even for multiple years, then give yourself a year or a year and a half to get over it and to heal and to kind of just do your own thing for a bit, and to get better, basically. Now, one of the ways that you can heal, and it's a method that I talk about all the time, and that is just to journal about it, write it down, or perhaps you may need to get a therapist, a counselor, and start talking to them about the issues that you've been having. There's a book that I really like called The Body That Keeps the Score, which is really good when it comes to people that have had where it goes more into people that have had like complex trauma and PTSD and things like that. But I think the techniques in there are actually beneficial to people that have just had, heartbreak and things like that as well. Like, I think it's a good all-rounder, really, and I think there's some helpful tools in there, and it's really interesting as well. So, try and heal, get over it, maybe get into some meditation, start taking care of your body, taking care of that mental health that that can really help as well. But don't start ignoring life, okay? So, because sometimes when we go through a breakup, we start to, distract ourselves, become numb to the pain, watch too much Netflix, eat too much junk food, things like that. But there's that quote that I like by Viktor Frankl, which is, when a man can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. You don't want to be distracting yourself with pleasure, okay? Because the truth of the matter is that time is going to pass. And if you're just wasting your time playing too many video games, eating too much food, watching too much Netflix, you're not going to feel good about yourself, and you're not going to heal because you're numbing yourself from the pain. You're not facing the pain, which is why it's a good idea to face reality, like write down, your thoughts and feelings about the breakup, maybe certain events that happened that you've been ruminating over for a long time. Writing down that kind of thing, and also going to counseling and talking to a therapist about it as well. That can also help as well. But maybe it's not as harsh as that. You don't need as much. So perhaps you just do something simple like meditation, or taking some time to giving yourself a little bit of self-care. And nourishing your body, and eating the right things and exercising. Maybe that would just be enough. So the next thing that will make her instantly regret losing you is if you improve every facet of your life. Okay, so what does that look like for you? So a good question I ask people a lot is, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time, right? It's a common question. So where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? What kind of body would you have? What kind of house would you live in? What kind of car would you be driving? What kind of money would you be making? What kind of habits would you have when it comes to exercise and eating the right things? What are those things? How, if you could have your life ideally the way you want it in 5 years, what would that be like? And then you start working towards that every single day. And the reason why that will make her instantly regret losing you is she will look on at your life now that you've created all these amazing things for yourself. So let's say one day she takes a little time to stalk on your pages on Facebook or Instagram or something like that. And she sees that you now have this new amazing life that you've created for yourself and you've worked really hard towards. And that's going to make her regret and think, okay, so if I had stayed with him, perhaps then I would be living that kind of life too. Perhaps I would be happy like how he is happy, right? So that's something else to consider as well. That will also make her instantly regret losing you. Although, perhaps not instantly, because it may take a while to build, but who knows, perhaps you're someone who already is living quite a good life, and you're happy with the way your life is going. So perhaps it could make her instantly regret because she realizes that she lost that wonderful life that you were having. So another thing that will make her instantly regret losing you is if you believe you can find someone better and then you do it, right? So obviously you may need some time to heal, to get over it. Give yourself that year and a half to, work on different things, to, do some of the, your old things. Because sometimes relationships can take up a huge space of our time, a huge amount of our time. And sometimes we forget who we are. Like we don't go to the gym as much, we don't read as much, we don't do our old hobbies as much, we don't see our friends as much, we don't see our family as much, because our life is so overwhelmed by our partner. And when that relationship ends, you can sometimes be in a little bit of a stupor where you don't really know what to do. So what you can do then is you can figure out that person who you was before you entered that relationship and start doing those things again. Start getting to a place where you feel like you again. Okay, and believe after a while that you can find someone better, because after you've taken that time to heal and have that time out, you will eventually find someone better, especially if you are, learning a lot on dating and relationships. I've got those recommended books on those sorts of things if you need help with that, if you don't understand the opposite sex or the same sex, as the case may be, and you'd really like to know how to communicate better with women or men, or whatever it is that you're looking for, right? So learn that, try and figure out those things for you, learn better dating techniques, and when you do that, you will have a better knowledge, and you will then be in a better place to find someone who is actually better for you, because you understand the human psyche a bit more, you understand dating a bit more, and that will help you find someone who is a better quality person than your ex. Okay, so if you can find someone better than your ex, that's definitely going to make them regret losing you, and it's definitely going to make them feel a little bit unsure of themselves and make them question why they broke up with you, right? Because the thing is that you may never hear from them. They may never say, oh, I regret breaking up with you, right? But, to be fair, that may be something that you don't really want anyway. You probably don't want them to come back into your life, okay? And to say something like that to you. You'd rather they just go away, really. At least I hope that's what you'll want anyway, that you would want them to just move on with their own lives as well. But if they do happen to look back on to your social media pages and they check up on you basically, or they ask friends about you that maybe mutual friends that you have with them, they may think, oh wow, they really sorted their life together. And perhaps my life would be different too if I was with that person, if I hadn't broken up with them. And when they see that you're with someone who, let's say, is better looking than them or is more successful than what they are, they're going to see that you upgraded, and you'll know also that you upgraded as well, and that will also feel good. You never want to downgrade after you've broken up with someone. You want to upgrade. You want to find someone who is a better communicator, a nicer person. You want to find a kinder person. You also want to find someone, hopefully, who is also better looking than your ex as well. Then you'll feel then you'll really feel that you've made the upgrade, okay? And that will make them regret. That'll make them second guess their decision. So the fifth way to make her instantly regret losing you, which is something I've already touched on already, which is filling your knowledge gaps about successful dating and happy, healthy relationships. Because not only do you want to get over your ex, but you want to learn more about relationships and dating so that when you go back out into the dating world, you actually find a really good partner for yourself. So it's really important that you fill in your knowledge gaps about relationships, the psychology of healthy relationships, and dating techniques that can help you qualify and find out the best kind of person for you, the best kind of woman for you in your next relationship, right? So that will really, really be beneficial to you as well, because not only then are you with someone who is better looking than your ex, but you're with someone and perhaps with someone who is also healthier than your ex. Perhaps they're less toxic, perhaps they're a better communicator, they're a much nicer person, but also you will have a healthier relationship. And if your ex hasn't changed, and they're still the same person, they're going to look on at your relationship and say, wow, they're that's such an amazing relationship. That's such an awesome relationship. That's such a healthy relationship. And they'll realize that they can never have that. Now that might not be true. Perhaps they can work out their issues as well and also have a healthy relationship. But it may also be the case that they look at your relationship and they feel regret and they feel like, I wish I had stayed with him. I wish I had stayed with her, because if I had, perhaps then we would be in that healthy relationship too. Now, of course, that probably isn't the case, because obviously this breakup has caused a big wake-up call for you, perhaps, and you've learnt new things because of that breakup, so you're now a different person than if you had stayed with your ex, because perhaps you would have just both still lived the way that you had lived in that relationship, right? But if you are in a better relationship, a better quality relationship, and you're happy and everything's, and that relationship is a healthy one and a loving one, then you've won. You've won. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you would like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. And if there's anything you'd like me to discuss in a future video, then please leave it down in the comments. Thank you so much, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.